At Muzz, I've never pretended things are perfect, and unfortunately there are imperfect people out there who sometimes don't have the best intentions. One of the first and obvious ones are Muslim men who, unfortunately, no matter how long their beard is, have a very inappropriate tendency when it comes to talking to women. So some of them will try and test your boundaries. They might crack a dirty joke or an inappropriate joke here and there, just to see how you react, and then try and take things forward and forward and forward. Whenever that happens, A, shut it down immediately. B, sometimes that's a reason for you to just go, no thank you. It's a clear sign of disrespect in all honesty, and kill things there. Second one is also a Muslim guy either sending you inappropriate photos or, and usually this happens, asking you for inappropriate photos back. If you're a Muslim woman wearing a hijab and the guy's asking you for photos of you without it, big red flag. For you, remember, it's a mark of your modesty and a mark of your station in Islam. And he should respect that. Even if he was able to ask you, that becomes way later in the conversation when the family's involved and when things are really progressing. I'm old school. When it comes to a Muslim man getting to know a woman, the man should pay for everything. And remember, even Islamically, when you're married, the man is the provider. So it's a good signal of future intent here. And that doesn't mean that he's taking you out for fine dining every single week and paying for that, not at all. Even just a coffee and a walk, remember, with your wali, it's perfectly valid and perfectly acceptable. Go easy on him, right? Like, it's a journey of getting to know two people, and early on, you don't want to become a burden to someone else so early on. Muslim men not being responsive when you're getting to know them. They're sending messages and the guy's not really responding. And then out of the blue, he'll come out and say, oh, I had some personal thing going on. Sometimes that's the case, but trust me, 99% of the time, if a guy is serious about you, he'll respond ASAP. I just know this from facts. And this is a big, big sign of ultimately them not being serious, them having something to hide, or them having ulterior intentions. One of the big ones I always hear about is, oh, he only seems to respond late at night. Nothing good ever happens past midnight. She's asked him if he's single, he said yes, they're getting to know each other, and then bang, suddenly she finds out that this guy's married with a kid that he's kept quiet. One of the first and best things that you can do early on, or if things are getting serious, is actually ask to meet their friends, because you want people who can vouch for this person, because this person is a stranger to you right now, right? So you want to figure out their family connections, their friend connections, etc., just to prove that there's nothing shady going on here. One thing very common that I hear a lot about is from Muslim women saying, oh, the guy is very hot and cold. Sometimes he's really interested, really responsive, and then sometimes I'm getting one-word answers or barely hearing from him. 9 times out of 10, the guy's talking to someone else, no question. If he's serious about you, trust me, I know men, they're responsive. If they like you, they'll always respond, you know? There's no room for confusion. Guys are very, very obvious about showing their interest in someone. You don't just want to be an option, you want to be someone where they're very serious about you, especially if you're dedicating all your time for this person. One of the big things when it comes to two people getting to know each other is it takes time, it takes investment, and it takes attention. You want someone who is actually putting time and attention into this relationship. So they're making plans, they're arranging for when you guys can meet, trying to listen to what you like and what you enjoy. That shows effort, that shows interest, and that shows intent, which are the 3 most important things. One of the biggest red flags to the ladies out there, and please be alert of this, is a controlling man who's either controlling in where you go, who you hang around with, who you see, even family members that you see and spend time with. Or is controlling on a religious aspect, that you've got to do this, you've got to wear that, you've got to do X, Y, Z on a religious perspective. Trust me, this never ends well, and it always just escalates. You know, this is a man intending to put his authority on you and then slowly escalate it. Ladies, there's a huge difference between a man being a protector and unfortunately being controlling or manipulative. Islamically, look, a husband and a Muslim man, hopefully your life partner, should be a positive guide in your life and hopefully bring you closer to Islam. But the flip side is you don't want a man who's controlling, who's dictatorial, who's telling you what to do and forcing you into things. That's never a healthy relationship. You ask him about trying to meet up with a family member and he says no. You want your wali there and he's saying no, not really, feel uncomfortable. Red flag. He should respect your need for having a wali or a chaperone. Ladies, it's important that you try and find a man who wants to be a husband rather than someone who just wants a wife.